The next speaker is our Vice President of Product and Engineering to give us kind of an innovative and thought-provoking topic. So let me bring up Shahar.
Was worth it just to get that hug. So my name is Shahar Erez. Don't try to say my name at home. It's complicated. And we got a great lineup today. Welcome to the first K in the Park Festival, our inaugural event. You heard the lineup. We have a family presenting here. We're going to have the rest of the family coming next year, so you guys got to think about who's that speaker. So I run products at Kenshoo. And at Kenshoo, for those who don't know, we build technology or other solutions that help brands connect with consumers, advertisers connect with their audiences. Through connecting, on the one hand, to the advertiser, marketeers, and on the other end, we work with some of the world's leading publishers, a lot of whom are here today, like Bing, Facebook, Google, Pinterest, Snap, and others. Hope I'm not hurting anyone's feelings. We do that by developing a platform that allows marketeers to access their audiences in an efficient manner, get the right message at the right time to the right people for the right price, and optimize throughout their journey. Now I know what you're thinking. It's early in the day, and they already got the product guy up, and he's going to talk to us about roadmap, product, features, and we don't have an ounce of alcohol in our blood yet. And so I promise you, this is the last I'm going to talk about what it is that we build at Kenshoo. To do that, I need your help. I need you to close your eyes and imagine for a moment, close your eyes just for a moment, and imagine it's not 28 degrees out and you're not sweating. It's winter time. It's snowing outside. It's cold. You're at the airport. You're waiting for your flight to go spend time with your family during the holidays. Your flight is delayed, possibly canceled. You're stuck at the airport with a bunch of strangers. What could a brand do to help not just make this a tolerable experience, but an adventure to remember? Wow, amazing. Full disclosure, I'm not a KLM frequent traveler, nor have I ever boarded a KLM flight. But I sure damn hope that next time that I'm in the airport and I'm stuck, I have a KLM ticket in my hand and not, for example, a company that might drag me off the plane if there's not enough seats. What did the KLM do here? I mean, they could have served the travelers with some food or food coupons as reprieve for the traveler, and that would have probably been appreciated, but they've done so much more. KLM reimagined their role as theatrical. They created a stage, a setting. They turned it into a game, an experience that is shareable by multiple individuals that are communicating, an experience that later will be shared, and creates amplification of that experience, an amplification that is so crucial in today's market and today's competition. Now, the notion of experience is not new to us. We're seeing evolution of user experience from user interface. Anybody that comes from tech, user interface, we learned it in school. And over the past couple of years, we're seeing an evolution where user interface design turns into user experience design. And we're seeing new functions evolving in organization. Actually, just I think 4 or 6 weeks ago, Mary Meeker released a report around internet trends and clearly called out there's an ongoing growth in the number of designers working in companies compared to the number of developers. That number is on constant growth for several years now, And multiple B2B companies, not just Apple that's in this picture, but actually B2B companies like Dropbox, Atlassian, have now more than one designer for every 10 developers. I don't know how many guys you got. I'd love to hear about that later. But a lot more over time. And of course, a lot of us engage on a day-to-day basis with customer experience. That's part of what we do, part of our job. And this one calls out for the CMO, which functions reporting team, and more than 50% of CMOs today have customer experience reporting directly to the CMO. And it's not just website and e-com, it's the entire experience. In-store, the experience, all the touch points with the customer are crucial to create that experience that we're referring to. But this is something different. While user experience and customer experience talk about the interaction with the customer, what KLM did is something completely different. They reimagined. They took a leap to create a real, brand new experience that amplifies. It seems like the Bard was never more right when they said, the world's a stage. And for those who don't realize that the world today is a stage, and we need to take advantage of that stage. There are businesses out there that are suffering because they haven't come to that realization. Let's take an example. Retail, we have all seen it. We see it every day. It's in the news. Retail employment going down worldwide, while general employment keeps going up. How can that be? Something must be wrong. Sears, great brand, out of across the Atlantic, running for 120 years in the US. Great brand. We've all learned of Sears. Shutting down 265 of their locations this year. Did they get it wrong? Well, apparently not just them. Macy's doing fairly well, shutting down only 68 stores. JCPenney, 138. Payless Shoes, 512 stores closing this year. Gymboree, maker of affordable, likable children's apparel, shutting down 450 stores. It seems like winter is truly coming to these brands, to these retailers. And I'm not talking about the winter that's coming on July 17th to Winterfell and King's Landing. I'm talking about a different, who was that? I'm talking about a real winter. It's been coming for a while and it's going to keep coming. And we're trying to understand why is that happening, what has changed, why are they getting it wrong? The knee-jerk reaction is, oh, well, it's those brown boxes waiting outside our door. It's e-com, it's Amazon. But reality retail, online e-com, only stands for about 6 to 8% of overall retail. It's not just that. There's something more fundamental happening that is driving that shift. And we believe that it's part of a 4-stage evolution that we're witnessing today. And that evolution is toward the economy of experience. Now, over the years, economists have lumped experience with services as being one. But over the last 20 years, starting with the research done in Harvard University back in the early 2000s, they realized that experience is a distinct economy, completely distinct from services, just like services are distinct from products. Now, why did I just blab? I need to take you back to school again, use your imagination, just like we do in good marketing. Let's go back to school to the first class of economy. The first thing we learned in economy was how to create value from the ground. You go back to agrarian economies, agrarian societies, you put a seed in the ground, you get something at the end that you can either eat or trade for. This was the basics of economy. Fast forward a few hundred years, the Industrial Revolution, where we learned to take the raw material, build something on top of it, and create something of more added value, something that we can actually sell and trade for. A lot of that revolution actually happened right here in London, and that really changed the world. I mean, we're all experiencing it still. Move forward a few years, and we're seeing that economies have evolved into service economy, where you lump products with a service and turn it into something of more value that people are willing to pay for. But in a world where products are commoditized, services are being automated, and we're seeing it all the time, the real value of unit is moving to value of experience. Now, my kids, when they were a bit younger, used to love going to the Build-A-Bear workshop in California. Every time the grandparents used to come and visit, used to take them to the store and rob them for everything they have to get Build-A-Bear, whatever that was. And really, Build-A-Bear, it took an imaginary leap, not unlike KLM, to build a new experience. They're not just selling goods and services, they're producing a unique new experience. And they're not shutting down, let me tell you. They're actually doing very well, and they keep growing. Now, the interesting thing is my daughter is, she's already 12, well, almost 12 in a couple of weeks. And my wife took her to our birthday to London. She was just here 4 or 5 weeks ago. And she remembered before going that if you want to get the Beef Eater outfit for your Build-A-Bear, there's only one place in the world you can get it. That's right here in the UK. Nowhere else in the world can you get the Beef Eater outfit. And I checked for her because my other daughter wanted the Paddington Bear outfit. That can only be achieved here as well. So this is a great example where you take location, you can only get it here, with mass customization to those who don't have kids yet and never ended up in a Build-A-Bear shop. Come with a lot of patience if you take your nieces or nephews. You can just pick the amount of fluff you want in that stuffed animal you're choosing. You can pick a voice, you can pick a name, and when you walk out the store, you're not getting a gift certificate. You're getting a birth certificate. Okay? So you just delivered an animal, you didn't get one. So really, Build-A-Bear is taking that experience significantly to a brand new, personalized experience that is kept for years, shared, and creates amplification. Another example, we all know this, no other electronic retail in the world sells better experience than Apple. This is from the store on Regent Street. Look at the design. Doesn't it just look great? Apple in the Regent store is making more revenue per square meter than high-end boutiques and jewelers. I find myself, when I walk next to an Apple store, whether it's in London or California or New York, I wander in. I know I'm not going to buy anything, but I just want that experience. I just want to spend some time in the Apple store, touch some of the new goodies. And it works wonderfully. I'll take you to another example, one that I'm specifically passionate about, coffee. Now, I started drinking coffee at a late age. I was 30, give or take. But over the years, I became pretty particular about my coffee. Not as Eagle over there, who's our CFO, who will not drink great coffee. When I'm tired, I'm drinking every cup of coffee. But when I get the chance, I try to choose good coffee. Now, if you want to get a good, decent coffee, you take value off the ground. You take coffee beans, brew yourself a cup of coffee. You'll be spending like 12 pence for that cup of coffee. Got it off the ground. If you end up in the store buying a good bag of roasted beans, the same amount will cost you almost 3x, 32 pence. Moving up the value chain, if you end up at a Pret a Manger, you'll pay £1.60 for the same cup of coffee. By the way, I paid $2.50 yesterday at the airport for Nero's. How do you Brits call it? Nero or Nero Cafe? Nero. Nero Cafe. So that's $1.60. But I got to tell you, when I'm in London and I want coffee, there's one place I really want to go. And that's Look Mom No Hands. The reason I want to go to Look Mom No Hands is because when I get there, I can come with my bike, I can get them greased, I can get my tires pumped, filled with air, I can talk to professionals about what they're seeing, what they're doing. I can have a black pudding burger. And there's no better place in the world to sit down with your laptop, connect to Wi-Fi, get some work done while watching Tour de France on TV, absolutely not when Froome is on the lead. What Look Mom No Hands is selling is not coffee. It's an experience. You know how I know that? 99% of times that I get to London, I don't have my bike. I get here on business, and I still end up paying £3+ per the cup of coffee because I want the Look Mom No Bikes experience. As an amateur biker, I love to go there. I love to tell the story. I love to listen to what's happening. And I'm willing to pay that extra pound, 30% more than anywhere else, to get that cup of coffee. Let's take another example. Travel.
They'll touch you. The body feels you up somehow. It's a place that stays with you.
So this is a tourism commercial for Australia, obviously. When I listen to that, these Australians are so serious. You listen to that voice, I want to go, I want that experience. We all know you guys are not that serious. You're a little bit more laid back, but I still want that experience. So what's interesting in this commercial, I'm not going to run this entire 1 minute commercial, that throughout this entire full minute, there's one shot of beach and bikini in that entire thing, and that used to be the thing in travel commercials, beaches and bikinis. Travel has realized that you're not interested just in leisure and pleasure anymore. You want an experience that will stay with you, an experience that you will share, that will be amplified, that others will share later when want to have the same experience or adventure that you had. So what are advertisers doing about these trends that I'm talking about? How are they focusing on creating these experiences and amplifying that? It's actually pretty simple. They're investing and investing more in digital advertising, in digital technologies to pass on these experiences so more people will be exposed to them. Now, of course, I'm not talking about these type of advertising that follows you, that annoys you, that pops everywhere, that's out of context. What these do actually is encourage us to have the experience of installing an ad blocker. But these experience of advertising that's within context, transformation of search advertising with imagery that helps me stay within the same process, the same experience, that helps me discover what I'm looking for, inspires me, helps me explore, doesn't jump and try to convince me to sell. Where's Christopher? They're not trying to sell me anything. Just want me to be interested in Iberostar Cancun as an example. And when I'm ready to make the move, they will make it so easy to call them, book now, whatever is needed. They will be all over it, but they'll make it in a fun, engaging manner rather than something that jumps at you. Bing has progressed wonderfully with integrating search with Windows. Their new Bing app is great where you can actually use your camera to spot elements, take a picture, and again, continue the experience, pick what you want, and make it very easy to buy. Pinterest transforming search to something visual, engaging, where you can create a portfolio of elements that you pin, whether they're branded or user-generated, things that I care about. When you look at the screen, it's not even clear if there's a commercial there. There is one, by the way, the one on the left. But other than that, you don't know it's a commercial. It's something that I'm interested in, and they're helping me find it. And if you're interested in food, well, Pinterest will help you find the food you want, the recipes of what you just had. And if you're tired of fish and chips, they'll let you know what's to eat in the pubs surrounding you, and you can just go there. This is what Jeep did a couple of months ago when they released a geo filter on Snap that you might call the bad hair day filter. But it's really an idea that's called 4x4 day. This is the get out the door concept by Jeep. And again, you can hardly notice the logo here. The concept is you want that experience of your hair up, all tangled up, go out there, have an experience, and it's so easy to share. Everyone will notice, everyone will know, amplify. Last example, this is where video is used as a tool to connect brand advertising, creating an experience that is constantly amplified. You recognized? I didn't recognize. I had to go search it up, to be completely honest. But James over there recognized. James DeGraw. He sang the opening song for One Tree Hill, apparently. He got a few platinum albums in the US. But the story is, Southwest came up with a program where they said, we'll take a bunch of artists that happen to be on our flights, and when they are on the flight, we're going to turn it into experience for the rest of the passengers. They're going to come on board with their instruments, whatever fits a carry-on, and we're going to have them sing and perform in front of the passengers using the PA system, no less. And we're going to create an event out of that thing. They actually called the program Live at 35,000 feet or something along that line. This is Southwest's approach to create an experience that strengthens their brands as being open, down-to-earth, collaborative, and it works wonderfully. Look at the amount of hands there taking pictures and videos of the guy. I looked it up. Millions and millions of people shared this content. It's a great strengthening of that brand. So with everything I just showed, what is really our imperative here today? Is it enough to just sell goods, engage with clients through some purchase funnel? No. You need to do more than that. You need to get your clients to become your advocates, to speak for you. You don't want that purchase funnel to vanish in product returns, bad recommendation, bad press. You want that cycle to continue. In the world where the true currency is the search for the real, where everything is real, you want your customers speaking for you. But is that enough? That's not enough anymore either. You want to be able to turn that into an experience that they will share with others, that they will later talk to others, that will be able to discuss, evaluate, explore, purchase, have an experience, and that cycle will continue and get amplified. So thank you for coming to K in the Park. As you listen through today's performances, and by the way, this is our version of creating an experience. So as you go through today's session, keep in mind, how do I apply some of these ideas to my business? How do I apply to the challenges I'm going through, or to the customers that I'm working with and might be stuck in their own snowstorm? Because at the end of the day, remember, it's our role to reimagine what can be done, to stage, to put the setting together, to get true performance. Or as Shakespeare once said, the play's the thing, and I will capture the conscience of the king. So I don't know if you can capture the conscience of the king, but you sure as hell need to capture the conscience of your customers. Have a great event. Thank you.
Shahar. Nobody gets off the stage without a hug.
Always, Dave. By the way, if you do want to buy something, I'll get you a deal.